Hey, Natsu here. Today I'm going to do my next part on what if Deku was an immortal demon fairy. In the last part, I finished with them just about to go to the USJ, but I was outside and it was cold, so I kind of stopped the video. So yeah, I decided to add something before the USJ happened, like in between either becoming class president and the USJ. I'm going to say that they made a hero come to class to talk to them about how she does her hero work. She's going to be a hero that's able to control plants. And let's say that while she was talking, someone asked if she could really control any plant. She said, well, all of the ones that I passed. Asked and tried to control yes. Then they pointed to Deku and said, try to control that. She said, well, that's a human. I can't control humans. And he says, not him, the bracelet on his arm. It's a weapon made from a piece of the big tree in the middle of dead forest. Which she kind of just doesn't think, okay, so he went there. She thought, okay, so someone went there, brought back a souvenir, and with his work he's able to control that. No, she thinks someone made a bracelet for him out of it. That's nice. Then she asked Deku if it's alright. He says, yeah, no problem. And change it into its pure form and floats it all the way up to her and says, try if you want, but I don't know. So this is just to make kind of proof of something, but she tries to move it. She's not even able to make it float a bit. So Deku's like, so you can do it like that? Then he makes it into a guardian, and he says this is literally moss, so if you're not able to control that, well, I guess the tree just doesn't accept anyone except me. She tries to move it in guardian form, and she's kind of able to, but not that. She says it's like it's resisting me, like if the tree didn't want me to move it. So basically, the tree is alive, and well, kind of alive, and Deku's the only one that can control it. Because it's mostly just because fairies are the one that can control it. So she won't be able to. That's basically just because I wanted to, just so that people know that nobody else can control that weapon. He's the only one. It will come back and play later for something. But yeah. At first, in the last video, I wanted to put that after the USJ, but I decided to put it before it. So, yeah. So after that, the next day or something, they go to the USJ. All Might's there this time, because since he doesn't have his wound, and that he got, well, partially healed his full strength back, since he did still give the all for one for all to someone. But this time he doesn't have a time limit. So yeah, he came to the USJ with them. When the portal in the middle opened, Aizawa told All Might to come with him, and 13 to protect the students. And All Might said we're going to beat them, so just run out. So All Might and Aizawa start going fighting. The villain gets pummeled to the ground. The student gets separated in the different places. In the place of Mineta, it's Akiko. So both her, Deku, and Suyu get transported to that place. Deku, since he can fly and control water, just kind of underwater goes to Akiko and take her out of the water, with Suyu following. Then they look overboard and see all of the villains. And Deku just says, well, wow, they did take a lot of people to try and fight us. So you're not scared? Then he says, not really. My healing capacities are stronger than those of my father, and compared to him, even if my head's blown off, I just regenerate. Which Tsuyu kind of says, whoa, so you're better than him in that way? Then Deku says, yeah, well, even when I was young, I was almost stronger than him. And because of all the power I have compared to him, he was still beating me, but because of all the powers and different capacity I have, I was able to at least overpower him in that. So, so, yeah, after saying that, one of the villains start pushing on the boat, kind of not know, kind of like talking to the others. So are we going? We still don't know the quirks. Which Deku hears and basically says, I have an idea. Which both of them look at him and he says, Akiko, I'll need you to make a time bubble on over us. No, a chain of time bubble over us that are going faster, just twice the speed of normal time. She says, so you want to go fast? He says, yes. And she makes them. And basically, he says to Tsuyu to take Akiko and jump off in the same direction as the bubbles are to pass through them. So she does. And while going there, they look back and they just suddenly see Deku, and he says Hunter's Fest, which both of them, well, actually, he used it in such a way that practically everyone in the area, from the villains, them, well, every villain, I mean, so Nomu, Shigaraki, and every low guy, just kind of lose part of their strength. And All Might and Aizawa hears one of them saying, wait, I feel weird. I'm not as strong as before. All Might knowing, All Might and Aizawa knowing everything, they look at where the shipwreck is and see Deku absorbing some particle of light coming from everywhere around. And then the Nomu's about to attack All Might. And when he attacks him, he does feel it. But Deku took about like a quarter of its strength because he's not as strong as Ban. So he doesn't have as much capacity to suck the power of others. Yes, the Nomu isn't nearly close to the power of Glad, but he is still Deku's like way under All Might still at this point. He's strong, but not that much for now. So, All Might then literally pummels the Nomu to the ground. He sees that he's able to regenerate and says, Izuku, destroy it! So he grabs the Nomu, throws it in the air, and then Shigaraki just sees this massive flower growing out of the ground, hearing sunflower, and suddenly just a massive flash of light that destroys the Nomu. Sorry about that, but literally the Nomu is kind of erased from existence because of that. It makes a massive hole in the USJ, but it doesn't really matter. Then he takes it back and Shigaraki tells Kurogiri to take him out of here, but pass next to the kid on the way. Kurogiri opens the portal, he passes next to Izuku, who's underground, like unable to move because he took too much energy from others. And everyone that saw his powers, like let's say he used them on one of Aizawa's scarf, and all they saw was someone in the middle of it. Well, no, everyone saw Deku next to the guy, and the guy placing his hand on his back, which everyone got really scared of that. And they saw him up crumpled to pieces and get destroyed. And Shigaraki just leaves. Everyone, Akiko and the others, are freaking out because they killed Izuku. Until Izuku's kind of darkness kind of start flowing around him a bit, because the natural power of a demon are trying to take effect, as well as his immortality. So he just kind of grows, kind of regenerate completely, and is literally like breathing hard, like, what the hell happened? What was that? Which everyone was happy, mostly Akiko and All Might. And yeah, he literally for a minute or so was completely destroyed by someone. Practically every piece of his body was destroyed. Even if even if you completely erase Ban, he is still going to come back. So it's kind of funny. So yeah, he did come back anyway. One thing that is funny is that every time Bans regenerate, he becomes just a bit tougher and a bit stronger. Just not fast enough. Like literally, it took 1,000 years of him being being killed, destroyed, burned, frozen, and stuff just to get over freaking powered. But still, it took 1,000 years to do that. So basically, also over time he becomes stronger naturally, but yeah, not that much. So after that happened, someone kind of brought him something to cover up since, well, his clothes got disintegrated. No, the spear didn't. That just fell on the ground. But still, I don't think it would work since as long as a small part of it is still there, it can regrow completely over time. And even if that happens, Izuku would probably just go back to the tree, take another piece, and be off with it. So yeah, Shigaraki is sure that he killed one of them. So yeah. Um After the USJ they have that week where they are out of school, where the teachers and Nezu are thinking, do we have a spy or that someone stole our our data, some data from school? So after that happened, they tell everyone that they have 2 weeks of training before the sports festival, which everyone's really happy about. And Deku gets an idea. So for the 2 weeks of training, he asked Akiko and All Might if they could go to that forest. All Might didn't want to, but accepted. Then he brought them to the tree to meet the unnamed fairy that I left there. She's still going to be alive for a few years, but for fairy time, she's close to dying. Since 700 years for them is practically nothing. Like, they pass like they can pass 100 year and say the human, oh, the other day we met. No, it's been 100 year and that was my grandpa. So yeah. Um so she met them. She was happy to see that he was there. Deku told her not to say about the fairy, another world, and whatever. So he basically called her his aunt that just lives here, which she accepted with pleasure since it's kind of cute. And then he tells Akiko that he wants her to make a bubble over a part of the forest where the time is accelerated by like a day out is about a week in the bubble, since he knows he's immortal, but he doesn't know that he just thinks that it's immortal by taking damage, but he's still going to pass and grow up over time. He doesn't know that yet, so she accepts. She does that, and so 14 weeks passed for Izuku, for for All Might and Akiko, who trained normally. They just had 2 weeks. The reason I do it in the forest is because, like I said before, that forest has monsters, animals with quirk, beasts, and stuff, and some of them have fire quirk, plant quirk, water quirk, um, quirks that make them bigger, stronger, harder to kill, and stuff. So he basically trained for 14 weeks in that. So he got stronger. Like, not All Might level yet. About like just over half of what All Might's able to do right now. So he's strong. Like, it's a 50% of All Might's strength. So 50% of all for one, one for all. Well, Akiko, after training for a while with Izuku and with All Might, is able to control about 11% of all, one for all, without breaking and in full calling. Since they did use that tactic of accelerating time on her before, but in that forest, since there were monsters and stuff, he wanted to at least do it alone so that he didn't have to protect her, which she got the reason. So when they go back to school, all they see is Deku's a bit different, like his hair longer, and they ask him, "Are you using your transformation quirk, or is it to be funny?" Or then he says, "No, not really. I just trained for 14 weeks in a row, thanks to Akiko's power, so uh, it's kind of normal for me to have longer hair." Then they said, "Wait, we only had 2 weeks to train and you were already stronger than some of us, than most of us. But you trained for 14 weeks?" Aizawa, that Lily entered the class, said, "Wait. So you're stronger than any you you trained for longer than anyone else thanks to her power?" He looked at her and said, "Why didn't you train with him to get stronger like that?" Then she said, "Because he kind of trained in Death Forest against some of the monsters that were there." Which he said, "For sure he did that." He looked at Deku and said, "So even if you wouldn't have had her power, you would have went and trained there?" He said, "Yeah, basically." So, as I was just thinking, that forest close to something. He might use it at some point that for more training, and that might be interesting. Well, it's in the middle of the forest, and Arzawa thinks there's probably something close to that. Well, no, he knows something's close to that, but he doesn't tell anyone since, well, yeah. So they go for the sports festival. They, when it's about to go for their running test, Everyone is ready to go, and when the door opens, first Shoto makes his eyes and covers the feet of everyone, and then everyone just hear Hunter's Fest and lose about a bit over half their powers, well, strength. Shoto feels it too, and suddenly they just see something zooms past them, flying over everything. He passed next to the two robots and literally breaks them with his spear, turning it back into a bracelet just after. Wait, is it two or three? Well, no matter. All of the robots, he basically breaks them in one hit. He flies over every obstacles and arrive at the end in like 40 seconds. And release Hunter's Fest, which gives back everyone their strength. And then someone says, wait, it's not. They're not supposed to have weapon. Why does he has one? Then Aizawa says in the mic, that's just a piece of wood that he's able to manipulate to look different. That kid's using basically a branch to do his bidding, which he says, so basically it's not really a weapon, it's more of an accessory that he made him, that he could have taken practically anywhere. Then Aizawa said, not anywhere. It's from the tree in the middle of that forest. Which everyone, every hero, every freaking person there, every student of the other class, even the big tree, hears that and says, wait, he took a piece of the tree, that is all, of the living tree in the middle of that forest? The one with the quirk? Aizawa says, yeah, he's able to go in there and train for a while. His aunt live on the tree as well, which Inko already knows that he decided to call her that, and she's okay with it. So basically, when she hears that, she's like, okay, yeah, fine by me, because she already knows it. So everyone's like, wait, there's someone living in that forest, and that kid's going there to train? But the monsters and the trees and then he said, don't worry, the kid's strong enough. If we had to estimate, I would say he's stronger than me already. I can't erase his quirks because half of them are mutation quirks and the others, and as well as him when he acted, as well as one of his quirks from his dad is the quirk demon, is basically unerasable by me. I already tried and he explained that his quirk works in a different way. He has darkness in around him at every second, but he just keeps it in. But because of that darkness, I can't use my quirk on him since it's blocked. So basically, this kid's immune to my powers and can do anything no matter how long I try to stare at him to erase him. Which everyone is kind of really surprised by that. Then they say, wait, the quirk demon. That's the that's the quirk of the old fourth place hero. I think his I don't remember what I named him for his hero name. So I'm going to give him the name Demon Slayer. If it was that, well, good. If it wasn't, Well, I changed it. They say he's the kid of the hero Demon Slayer, which he says yes. Then the one next to him asks, "So, what's his quirks?" Which Aizawa says he has a mix of both his mom and dad's quirk, as well as having a quirk, a mutation that gave him more quirks, another quirk. So basically, his quirk is called Demon Fairy, and the second quirk is called um um it's called Hunter's Steel. So basically, everyone's like, so that's what his ability was. He's he called it he called it Hunter's Fest, right? So what it lets him do is steal his opponent's strength. Which Aizawa respond, yes, that's it. While they had that conversation, every other student were advancing. Kiko was making a ball around her that accelerated her time to go faster than everyone. So she got second place. After that, it's Shoto, Bakugo, and then, well, everything's basically like in the anime. So Shoto's not in first nor second place, he's in third. So, yeah. When all of that happens, after that they give the points. Deku's team is going to be Invisible Girl. No, not Invisible Girl. Ochako, Akiko, and let's see. Kirishima is going with Bakugo. So, okay, so just like in the anime, the last one is going to be the girl with what she call her babies, basically the equipment she makes. That girl is going to be the last one, and the team is going to be Team Ochako. And what Deku tells Akiko to do is, no, he says, Ochako, I want you to make us all light. I'm going to fly up. And then Akiko, I want you to make a bubble around us that will make us go so slow for everyone else that for us a single minute is going to be the whole time. So I won't have to hold us too long, neither will Ochako. So the moment it starts, Ochako makes them all light. Deku basically flies up so freaking high that nobody can even hope to catch them. Everyone, Bakugo is angry at that, as well as Shoto a bit. Then they just see them stay there. So practically everything happens the same on the ground. Shoto's team got points. Bakugo's team got points, as well as well, the team of the zombie guy. Not really zombie, but brainwash. So, yeah, just like in the anime, he had used his quirk to make himself a team, then all of them disqualified themselves because they don't even know what the hell happened. So, okay. for the last event, which is the battles, um, Kiko, well, first of all, it was, yeah, Akiko is going to be faced in first thing against the I don't even remember his name. Tokoyami. That's it. She was able to win. Bakugo and actually, Akiko won all of her battle until she was faced against Deku. Shoto won all of his battle until he met with Bakugo. Bakugo did the same until he met Shoto. Deku until he met Akiko. So this time, Bakugo and Shoto were one against the other before. No, wait. Bakugo was against Akiko and Deku was against Shoto. Akiko almost won against Bakugo, but problem was at some point she won that to the line, but Bakugo tried his best against between Shoto and Midoriya, since Shoto and everyone in Class 1A knows that Deku basically can come back from practically any freaking thing ever. Tries to use his eyes. Over time, Deku just keeps breaking it and advancing. Then he says to him that it won't matter unless he uses his full strength. Blah blah blah, use your fighter side, blah blah blah. And Shoto uses it. He still gets beaten up and get pushed off the stage. Well, or like punched off the stage, but still. And so after that, the last battle is Akiko against Midoriya. And okay, this fight I'm going to say it goes mostly one-sided for a while. Like, the moment the battle starts, Izuku directly places his hand and says, Hunter's Fist. But he didn't just steal her strength. He stole the strength from everyone in the arena. Everyone that was sitting in this... everyone that was already beaten up or lost. And his muscle grew. And a lot. Like, if I would calculate it, with all of the people that were in the stage, and most of them being pro heroes, the amount of strength he took was about the same as what Bond had took from, almost the same strength as what he took from Gallade. So he's literally at his limit at this point. Akiko tries to put him in a slow bubble, but she didn't know how slow to put it, so she put it like 7 times slower. But Deku was still too fast for her and basically just pushed her out. Even though she was using one for all. So yeah, I know that's OP, but literally he pushed his limit. He's like, I don't have time to do anything. I have to stop her before she uses her powers. But he was still just fast enough because of his natural speed, which is like basically almost 8 times faster than a normal human, added to the speed and strength of everyone else. So when she just did 7 time, she basically underestimated Izuku by a massive amount. So yeah, he won. She went against Shoto to see who would have won and see who's in second place and third place. And she almost didn't beat Shoto because of the speed at which she made his ice, but she made a bubble of slowness around him and a bubble of acceleration around her, which did give her a big advantage, and suddenly she used all for one, one for all, just in her arm. She didn't care if it broke thanks to Deku's power, and basically punched the hell out of him. So once that was over, she did get hurt, her arm was broken, and Shoto had all a freaking mass in his stomach. They they made uh, Deku come to use his pollen garden, since they knew that with that he basically heals someone without using any of their energy, and that if they want them on the podium, it would be better if they still have their energy. They don't like using Deku as basically a medic, but it's basically the best thing they have on hand, even over Recovery Girl at this point, because she can't heal everything, like a hole in the stomach. Yes, Night Eye. While in contrast, in Seven Deadly Sins, we see that Diane with a hole that's, well, literally destroyed her spine and everything in her stomach got healed pretty easily by Pollen Garden. Like, she had nothing left of the damage. So, Deku's can heal pretty much everything, just like he healed All Might. So, All Might give the medals. He tells Deku that if. I think in the anime he didn't say anything like that, but this time I'm going to say that they asked Deku if he wants to say a few words to everyone about his win and everything, and all Deku says, taking the mic, is no matter what happens, I'll if you if you need a hero and that I am near you, I'll be there to help you. I want to become the next #1 hero, and I know that All Might won't be an easy task to pass, but I'm ready to do anything I have to do to become better. So hope you do too, and hope we train well to become the next heroes of this generation. Which pretty much everyone applauds because, well, he basically said that he still has a way to go, but that everyone can get better. So every student, every people were really freaking happy and really liked that. So, okay, next it's the next day or something, and they get their recommendation letters. Not recommendation letters, but the agency letters to see where they want to go. Deku got the most because, well, literally he has some of the freaking best power. He can make black flame. He can engulf his hand in darkness to heal. He can just take damage and it literally heals on its own. He can fly. He can move plants. He can steal stuff from afar if he sees it. He can steal the strength of his opponent. So basically, for any hero agency, it would be freaking awesome to have him. Like, they're facing a group of villain that has some document that they would need if they want to put them in prison. Deku's there. He sees them. Snatch. He has them pretty easily. Villains are trying to swim away. He controls the bubble of water that's around them and makes them go into the air while moving the water around to force them to stay in it. There, no problems. They try to hide in the forest. Yeah, they're just done at this point. So you get it. He's OP no matter where the hell you go. So All Might asks Deku and Akiko to come with him for a bit. He wants to talk to them. And then he says that his master, Gran Torino, sent Akiko a recommendation, a request to come to his agency. And he looked at Izuku and said, young Midoriya, I would like you to go with her. Asked my master about it, and he said he would be okay with it. So both of them are going to Gran Torino's agency, even though only one of them has all for one, one for all. Why do I freaking keep saying that? So yeah, both of them are going to Gran Torino, and I'm going to end it here because this part is getting long. So yeah. How did you like my way of using Akiko's power to make Deku even stronger than anyone? Also, if... How would you... No. I'm trying to find a way to ask this question. When I talked about that forest previously in this video, I said that Aizawa knew that something was close to that place. Can you try and find what it is that is close to that place? Since I'm pretty sure nobody's going to get it, or if people are getting it, well, good, you're thinking like me for that. But yeah, in the comment section, leave what you think is the place that I'm going to place next to the forest, well, close to the forest of death. So, hope you liked it. This was part 3 or 4 of What If Deku was an immortal demon fairy. So, Natsu out.